This week, our final dry January segment. No 5-star guest this week, only the 1 stars and maybe a half a star. You know who he is. I'm over dry January anyway. It's kind of like a culty thing anyway. I don't even drink alcohol. I might go the anti and just do alcohol February because everybody's so annoying with the dry. Nick B drinks ginger beer all over the place. We'll probably talk about it. We'll see. Great episode. Rip's going to do comedy. It's going to be wonderful investment of 45 minutes, this one. Enjoy.
DK and Nick B, the 1-star recruits, have partnered up with 500 Level. It's 500level.com for all your apparel needs, awesome shirts, hoodies, all kinds of other apparel based on NFL players, NBA players, you name it. Check out 500 Level and type in the code 1-star. That's the number 1 STAR for 20% off all their awesome products. Hit up 500 Level. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the 1-Star Recruits podcast. I am DK, joined as always with Rip, best friend in 25 years. We are 1-stars trying to get better in life with the help of 5 stars. Sometimes we don't have any 5 stars. The whole month we had 0 5 stars, only us. Plus sometimes Nick B. Nick B's back on the podcast. Nick B, what up, my man?
What up? Let's go.
Audio is mediocre as always for Nick B. Rip, what up, my dog?
Happy February, brother. Alcoholic February in the house.
Well, we're there. We're still recording in January. That's why I got my little rant in here.
Wet February.
February, the month for sweethearts. Straight off the bat, though, Rip, I want to call back. A couple listeners want to know if you pulled the trigger on LeBron James tickets and which game you chose. He is playing tonight as we record in Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. He can score, Nick B, 117 points tonight in the Mecca. And maybe get that record and pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Rip, what is your decision? Are you going to the Clippers game?
You know, this kind of throws back to last episode a little bit because I've been thinking about this almost every day. And your advice was to buy the tickets for the OKC Thunder game, which is, you know, one of their first home games in a back-to-back there. And the problem is he's been sitting out. You know, he sat out against the Nets the other night. And B, the biggest thing is that I'm unemployed and I have to clear purchases with my wife, as we discussed last week, anything over $300, and it's going to be a little more than that. So I haven't done it yet. And honestly, I'm probably out. There's a couple other hiccups. Like I said, it's a school night. It's a late start. So I'm probably out, unfortunately, but
probably out. Yeah. It's a kind of a double. Yeah. It's a double whammy for you because tickets are up and it hit you with your spending spree, a bunch of double whammies there for that situation. You're going to maybe watch it at the crib, get it set up, a nice little basketball setup. And Nick B doesn't even care about LeBron James passing the scoring record whatsoever. Do you, Nick B?
I do. No, I do care. But what I was going to say is if you ended up going and he scored 115 points, not only would he pass that record, he'd pass Wilt's record for the most points in a game. So there's a couple records in that one night.
Yeah, at the Garden, man. I mean, it's crazy that he's still playing at this level. But you're right, Rip. It's a crapshoot. Is there anything off the bat that if you were NBA commissioner, and I don't want to get into the weeds, but if you ever thought about it, about this sitting players when they come to your cities, like what a bummer when, you know, LeBron comes to your city, to Charlotte or to Cleveland once a year and he doesn't even play. And you probably pay the high ticket prices before. Do you get a refund? Does that go somewhere? Is there a way that the league should deal with this, Rip? What do you think?
Yeah, you're paying to see Dennis Schroeder and Patrick Beverly instead of LeBron. You know, it's I know they have some rules in place for like national TV games and that, but it's one of those things that's so hard to prove. It's because like the guy is always injured in some manner, right? Like he's never 100%. So I get it, man. I get it, but from both sides. But yeah, maybe that's another reason not to buy tickets and just watch it on TV. Because what if I shell out that much money on tickets and he doesn't even play?
Yeah,
it's a good point. I mean, I was just going to throw out there just an idea, but this could be a poor one, but thinking, if I was commissioner and you knew, for example, he wasn't going to play, you probably could organize some sort of like a free, like an autograph, right? If you're there on the ticket night and he doesn't play 1 minute, you get an autographed ticket mailed to your house or something like that. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to incorporate something, right?
Added value. Yeah, Nick B, that's smart thinking. I've thought about it a little bit and heard some other folks discuss the option. It's technology. It's this age in technology. You digitally buy a ticket and have your credit card on file. You can adjust that ticket based on and say, look, here's the deal. If these guys play full roster 100%. If these two guys play 70%, these guys don't play 50%. And at game time, you have the option to make that decision. If you still want it, that kind of takes a fan off the hook. Very tough stuff, though. That's the one thing when it comes to your cities. I know I'm still pissed off when Michael Jordan came to Phoenix. I didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger. I don't know if it was a money decision. I need to ask my parents.
I got another 1-star idea to add here that I just came up with so you find out at about noon on game day that, LeBron's not playing. So my 1-star idea is you find his doppelganger in that city, a 6'8" guy with a beard, throw him in there in a Lakers uniform and just let him go like 1 for 17, 2 points, 4 assists and 2 rebounds. And people will just be like, oh, LeBron had an off night. He must not have it tonight. Just like fake Clay Thompson could go in Chase Center and play. I mean, that's a 1-star idea, but be kind of fun.
I love that idea.
He loves that idea. Digby loves that idea. Look, he gets happy about it. Look,
doppelganger.
I literally live in this pod. What is it? It's literally, I just looked out at my phone. I have a text message from my mom and to you, Rip, of a rarity. I want a live mom review. Do you want that, Rip, right now?
Oh, bring it on us. We love mom reviews on the show.
All right. Love a straight mom review. Let's see. Love the comedy. Keep it up. You're a natural. Keep up the great work. All it needs is lots of repetition. You nailed it for sure. There's a little nag in there, just a little one. TikTok for sure, and live performances. Go for it. Loved it. The pod is great too. Only part way through this one so far. There you go, Ma. There you go. What do you think, Nick?
Legit. Great advice.
Well, our guy Nick B is an excellent reviewer. Excellent review, Nick B, on Trash Talk Boys. I know it's your rec of the week. I know they've created a fan. Rip and I are on the journey to 100 true fans. Like, you're a true fan of that podcast. We're inspired by you. I did see your review, very nice review, and you also wrecked them. Thank you to everybody who does that for us. But Nick B, you're a hell of a guy. That's all I want to say as we start off February and move away from dry January. I don't know if we're going to see you again. We got some famous actors and comedians coming up, Nick B. We might not see you until March Madness.
Well, can we get a poll question on that or something? Because Nick B can work on it. Damn it. There he goes, talking in third person. So there's one strike. I will work very hard on just being quiet and just listening. So I'll be like on the pod, but 10% participant. I think I should be on with a guest. I mean, can we get a poll question on that or something? And then I guess just to give my opinion or to chime in on your dry January talk, I coined the phrase crocktail because you've got mocktail, which is basically, I think most people know it's like a cocktail without any alcohol in it. But if you use the chronic drops, it's a crocktail. Terrible take. Edit this out.
Rip, no, keep it. Rip, are you taking notes for your bits? He just gave you so much cocktail. He turned into crocktail. You could have done 7 things with cock, Rip, for your comedy segment we're going to do a little bit later. Nick B, you're a big mocktail, not doing the drinks because you love the devil's juice, man. You love a fresh brouhaha more than anybody I know when you're doing a little. And you know what, bro? You lost some weight.
I did.
I noticed. I think it's because you're not drinking as much beer.
I'm at 298 now.
Yeah, like that, big boy. You have though, bro. You are skinnier. I think you're probably kicking around 189, probably under 190.
No. Thank you for throwing that out there. I think it's 197 has been my low, but thank you.
But he is worth 298 mil. Just throw that out there.
Flowing it out there. Yeah, with that, Rip, with that. Nick B does the Disneyland trip, and I want to he's fresh off a surprise trip for his kiddos to Disneyland, the most amazing place on earth, whatever they call it. Likely there's a 90% chance that Nick participated in the super luxurious private group Disneyland experience with his family. Most likely this insurance guru, Nick B, flew out on like a signature air PJ from Sky Harbor direct to Orange County. The mouse probably had a nice car that took him straight to the Disneyland Club 33 bar where he got alcohol. They don't even serve alcohol. I think maybe in California land to the normal people. And then he probably hit that 21 Royal. Would you hit a little Donald Duck fillet at Nick B with foie gras in the Royal, followed by his own Disneyland tour guide who whisks him and his family around from ride to ride without waiting in any long lines. You just go right on up to whichever ones you want. It probably was lovely. Did I nail it?
Dude, you nailed it. I don't know who gave you all the information, but that's exactly how it went. That was impressive.
God, the 80-20 rule, Rip. That's how it usually rolls with the 80-20, man. The rich get richer, poor get poor at Disneyland, Nick B.
Jeez, that's
Did you
pretty.
did all of your daughter's dreams come true? Let me ask you that.
Yes, absolutely. She, yeah,
She did. All her dreams come true. Favorite ride, favorite event that just stole her heart when you just said as a dad, holy shit, man, this is all worth all this bullshit.
I guess I could just go with It's a Small World. It's something simple. Like she really enjoyed the simple things. She actually, well, I could say Splash Mountain too.
Is Smash Mountain closing down? Is one of those closing down? One of those the ones that we used to go to? Rip, you know, you're a every 3-weeker like our guy Tamua.
Yeah, no, they're just revamping it. There were, I believe the movie it was based on, like Song of the South or something like that. There were some racial undertones that, they're turning it into a Princess and the Frog theme, but it's still going to be the same concept, just a different theme for that ride.
Interesting. There were a lot of people saying that they were shutting it down and getting rid of it. You got to go do it before it's gone. And I was kind of questioning that, but that makes so much more sense what you're saying, Rip. Keeping probably the main infrastructure and just changing the theme. That makes sense.
Yeah. So what's your flow, Nick B, when you hit Disneyland? What's your dad flow? You rocking your insurance gear, you flowing in, you being cool, calm, collected, you doing a little helicopter dad, you go right to the food. What's your whole setup there? What's your game plan?
Well, feel free to cut me off like usual because I'm going on too long, DK, but I'll give you the full recap. And just to touch on what you just mentioned, I had to represent that Marcus Rashford Manchester United jersey. So I was dressed fresh to death.
Any comments, any shout outs on it?
I did not, but a few people with PSG
any fist
gear,
pounds? Not a single fist pound.
Not a single fist pound. Some frowned faces because we're not the most liked team across the globe. But anyway, okay.
Also in Anaheim, bro, and not Berlin or Paris or Rosendorf. Okay, bro, you're in Anaheim, right? If you had a Mike Trout jersey on, or
a one-star recruit shirt, you get a lot of love. And
I should have wore the 1-star. I guess I could say that there were quite a few posers wearing that PSG Jordan gear, like DK likes to do. Couldn't even name 3 players on the team, but definitely wearing that Jordan repped PSG gear. Well, let me give you
definitely had that 3 years ago, and I got it in Paris before I did because I saw it too. I see it now on basketball games when I watch it. I don't think it's as cool. Onward though, Nick B. So you're wearing your Rashford. You got your hat backwards, so you're flowing through. Okay, continue.
So rewind. Let's bring it back to the beginning because last week's episode I had mentioned that my 7-year-old might listen to this pod, so I didn't want to divulge the details. So the wifey Lauren and I were like, we need to surprise Lucy and take her to Disneyland for her 7th birthday. How are we going to do this? The wife really stepped her game up and came up with several different ideas, and we landed actually on the idea of pulling her out of school early, telling her that we have to help out a friend, not disclosing which friend where, and then we're just going to drive to California and we're going to go to the downtown Disney.
Could have been a little traumatic though, getting pulled out of school. Excellent, awesome. Telling him you got to help a friend with no detail. Semi-dramatic though. Didn't they ask?
True.
7-year-olds are asking questions, Nick B.
We should have prepared for that because, well, I'm going to jump right. I mean, this is my 1-star moment of the week, so I'll just circle back to it. But part of the story, you're correct, DK. We should have talked through some scenarios on some potential questions that she would have been asking, because the first one is like, what friend, and then off the top of Nick B's head or my head, I'm like DK. We got to go help Dana move some stuff out of storage. First thing that popped out of my mind because that was a true story a year or 2 years ago or whenever that was. So then, of course, we're cruising, and she says, my 1-star moment of the week is, we weren't going to tell her where we're going. And then she said, like, are we going to California? And I just said, yes, like an idiot, because then she had so many more questions where if I would have just said no, she wouldn't have continued to ask. So anyway, what kind of cool is, so we crossed the border over into California. We're getting we're getting closer to LA. And then sure enough, on the screen in the wifey's Infinity, we get Dana Knops is calling. And so you called me at the perfect time because it like helped solidify for her that we were going to help you out. And she's like, why aren't you answering the phone? DK's calling. And I was like, I can't remember what I said, like, oh, we're going to see him soon enough or whatever. So
nice job, DK.
Yeah, dude, DK, you're
welcome. I was actually following up to see how you went to like a big house party with Ricky Williams and Jim McMahon and a bunch of people. I was following up on that one. and talking to you about getting you into the waste management. So if you would have picked up, I would have blown everything. I would have blown the whole thing. So I was coming in hot.
That's why I didn't do it. And I will recap you. It wasn't a house party. It was a really cool meetup event, but we'll talk about that off air, DK. So she basically, the cool thing is it's on Disneyland Drive. So the car says, take a left on Disneyland Drive. So that's how I saw her eyes poke up. We got it on video. She was so pumped, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the surprise was real. So that's how it happened. And I can't remember. Yeah. So to your point, DK, I wore the Manchester United jersey. We ate all the food. We did all the rides.
Flag through, hit it all up, and you go with her. You go on the rides, or you chill like a swag. Rip doesn't do all the rides. Rip only picks a couple that he goes. Right, Rip, you don't do all of them.
Some days are different than others. Some day we do 15. Some day we do 5. You know.
What a veteran OG move.
That is a good move.
Let's move away. Give me the one best thing you did at Disneyland. What was the best thing you ate, Nick B?
Best thing I ate, turkey leg. It was a
turkey leg.
So good.
Yeah, you know what? Because we're all from AZ. We grew up on that Renaissance Festival.
I mentioned that. It reminded me of the Renaissance Festival. It did. Yes.
You know what those turned out to be? Turns out as a kid, it was just like a kind of a fun festival. Turns out all of those people just have sex together with each other. I read a memoir, a book about it. They're wild. It's like a whole subculture of kind of weird off second people who fine, but like, yeah, you're like Jacob's Ladder. He was creepy now that I remember it. But turkey legs were the best of them, man. Fuck. I remember eating the turkey leg, watching a fucking llama. I think I fed the llama some turkey leg. That might be cannibalism. I don't know. It's fucking Renaissance fair. You ever make it up Jacob's Ladder successfully, Nick B?
We stay away from the Renaissance Festival for those reasons that you mentioned. We did not realize that. We learned about that. We now stay away, even though my mother-in-law lives right across the street from that place.
Because of that reason. So like you're in fear of like walking around the corner
Creepers.
And like the princess giving the knight a beach around the corner.
Yeah, I guess, in full disclosure, authenticity is huge on this pod, so I have to keep it real. It's also that I just don't want my daughters to turn into some weird Renaissance ladies.
It's tucked away. Yeah,
work there, bro, and totally start traveling with the circus. Yeah,
different vibe than the state fair, that's for sure.
Different vibe. Rip don't care. He's bringing his kids to the Renaissance Festival. He's going to take him to the joust.
I'm out.
There was some parts about Disney that were a surprise though for the wifey and I, like the grown adults. I mean, there's grown adults that I just like, it's like the best day of the world. Like they were there because of the new ride was opening and they got all the gear. They're spending their entire salary of the year on Disney shirts. I was shocked by the amount of adults that were there without kids.
My biggest pet peeve about Disneyland is when, you're trying to get on a quick ride, for a kid and you see a 30-year-old couple, 30-something couple in a line for Winnie the Pooh. Like, what are you doing going on Winnie the Pooh as a 35-year-old man and woman? It makes no sense.
I agree. It bothers me.
I mean, I think they probably need some therapy and they probably some parts of their childhood that needs to be filled by some people and that maybe fill some memories possibly, but it's so annoying. Is there a way to just feel happy for them? Like they're having their like a happier moment than even your kids are. And that's nice and let it be.
Not when you have screaming kids and tantruming kids, man. It's like, get out of the way. My kid needs to get on a ride.
Rip knows. I think Rip's number one draft pick ride most ridden this year, Winnie the Pooh. If I was a betting man, I can't bet here in Hawaii, but if I was a betting man, Rip is that the number one draft pick, most ridden ride.
I got Eeyore and Tigger on the offensive line, baby. You know it.
Get them tattooed on your arm. What up, Nick?
I got to give you mad respect, DK, for that positive spin. I agree with you. We should actually be happy for those people, dude. Thank you for changing my mindset a little bit.
It's hard. I mean, I do. Shout out to Kimmy. She does that to me a lot when I'm like annoyed, and it's a quicker way to turn annoyance into a different lens relatively quick. Cause like, yeah, it's to be annoying that adults are doing tons of activities in this world, but if they're really having a good time, I mean, hey, amen. I suppose. Who knows? Sweet Lordy. We did a little Disneyland segment. We should get Tamua back. Rep, I saw that he has like a whole new girlfriend and like a new look. He's coming to Maui pretty soon. He's one of those adults who does D-Land with no kids. So they're out there in this world.
He's not going on Winnie the Pooh. That man travels from Hawaii to Orange County every 2 weeks to go to Disneyland. What a baller, Tamua.
Lord. That is a baller move. I want to give you some public praise, Rip. Thank you for the advice, all the advice that you guys had for us when we were going to embark on our travels to Disney. Really helped out a lot, dude. So thank you for that.
Anytime, man. So what I know, two things in life: it's Disneyland and Arizona Cardinals. So
Yeah,
I no.
differ on both because you know what? The first thing Nick B says, the advice you should give him, Rip, is wear your 1-star recruits. Many shirts we gave you, Nick B, and he wears a fucking Marcus Rashford shirt, like
True.
we're going to the pub, okay, the Louvre.
True, but I would actually also say that, Rip, your number one quality is being a 5-star dad. So you can't leave that out, man.
oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And we know Nick B, if his dreams do come true of having a media credential at the Waste Management Open in a few weeks, he will be wearing that 1-star shirt, guaranteed.
It's brewing. Can we say it's
I will.
brewing, Rip? Can we at least say it's brewing? We're not going to tease him too much, but it's brewing, Nick B. So don't get too excited. Don't look smug like that right now, Nick B. Just barely brewing. It's
Sorry.
room temperature, warm.
Happy face.
From 5-star dad to 1-star comedian, the segment everybody's been listening to, waiting for. Great feedback. Wonderful TikTok Rip response. Thank you for dropping that one on the TikTok. Go ahead and give us a follow there. Rip, hit us with the second outing of Rip's comedy segment.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been unemployed for a few weeks now, so naturally I'm trying to cut costs for a little bit. It reminds me a little bit of when I was growing up and didn't have much money, so we did everything we could to get the most out of everything we had, which basically translates to adding water to anything and everything, right? You know, the dish soap's running low. Oh, go add some water. Just got a few drops of laundry detergent left. Add in a bunch of water. Meanwhile, nobody stopped to think that none of that shit actually worked. It just made the bottle look full, right? So, yeah, I added some water to some mac and cheese last night to save a few drops of milk. That's where I'm at, rock bottom. It tasted like shit, but hey, I saved a few pennies, right? One of the things, though, that I haven't been able to control is all these excessive work celebrations nowadays. Because I might be unemployed, but my wife is still employed until her coworkers hear this bit. And she comes home every other day with stories of these things that cost a ton of money. Anyone who has ever worked in an office knows what I'm talking about. These are the celebrations that should probably only be reserved for retirements, but it's for everything nowadays. I know you know, Nick B. Do we really need to celebrate Cindy's 47th birthday with a big group of adults at work? I mean, where does this stuff end? Hey, Mallory brought a new RAV4 this weekend. Let's have a cake. I mean, Preston ran a 10K on Sunday. Let's go to Benihana. And let's all pay for his meal too. No, that shit fucking adds up, you bozos. It is impossible to save any money when you work in an office.
Oh, but excellent. Wait, not your cadence fucking killed. Also relatable. You guess what I'm doing right now? I have a big bottle and a small bottle. I use this face wash, this Sarah X, that I don't know why I don't buy it. It's one of those fucking weird products that I have a problem going into a store and buying. Nick B probably has the same issue with all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I've been putting water in it and shaking it up to get the last little bit of face wash out. It's very relatable, bro. Very relatable there.
It doesn't work though, man. It's like it just dilutes the entire product and it doesn't end up working as well as it would.
Aside from your iced coffee, which we've talked about, you can double that iced coffee into multiple drinks by adding water. I agree, dude. That was really good. And you definitely seem like you're getting more comfortable with it after 1 week, dude. I'm really excited to see the feedback to this one.
Still 1 star, forever 1 star, but hey, I'm trying, man. That's what counts.
Good callback on mac and cheese. You could have done a little bit more and throw out something worse that you ate, as I know there was worse stuff put into your body this week. Mac and cheese. It could have added water too. All right.
Hey, we actually have a comedian coming on later this month, and maybe we can run some of this stuff by him, get some advice on how to do this stuff, how to make people laugh more, and just it's a guy who's out there now performing and everything. So just a little teaser for 1 star.
Yes.
I mean, I could invite an enemy out here, but I know a gentleman by the name of Ned, who is also known on the scene as Carlos Mencia, who likes to steal people's bits. We could get him on.
Oh, yeah, Nick B's pulling out his connections now. Nick B, you stay focused on the Waste Management Open possibility, okay? 30% chance of Nick B. I do like that though, Nick B. You throw out those connections. I'm gonna need you to go get our guy in the 49ers who just took that L. Our guy John Lynch, who used your fellow soccer dad.
I did give him some advice on, what plays to call during the NFC Championship game, and I can't believe he went against my advice. And sure enough, there you go, Coach Lynch. Sorry.
So I mean, Nick told him to throw the ball. He didn't know that Brock had no elbow, but he kept texting him probably throw the ball. Nick B from Phoenix, soccer dad, fellow soccer
No,
dad.
realistically, I said because I was so nervous and just annoying and like just a chump. I said like, take it easy on my Cardinals or something super cheesy when I walked away, dude. It was bad.
1 star, 5 star. My mystery shirt came from 500 level, fellas.
Oh, hey, I brought mine.
We have an unboxing.
We have a revealing.
I'll show mine after Nick shows. We were curious 500 level if they were going to be the same. So they do a mystery shirt for $8 and then one for $10, a normal and a premium as Nick B is opening this thing. Super easy delivery. I live all the way in Hawaii. Got here in 5 days. Nick B got his. It came right to his mailbox. So he's opening it right now.
No way. Who is it?
DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, big head DeAndre Hopkins.
I wonder if they ship. Oh, because you had an Arizona address. I wonder if they ship you an AC guy. I wonder if that's what it is. DK, is there a Cowboys fan base in Hawaii?
I didn't even expose mine. Yeah. Did you get a premium or a Reggie's, Nick B?
I don't remember. Whatever the $10 one was.
I think the $10 was the premium. I did too, which is actually a really soft, nice T-shirt.
It is. By the way. Yeah, it really is.
I got mine at first. There's a small video, as a quick video I made for the homies. I thought it was Derek Carr, which just would have been. I don't know why that's so painful. If it was him, is Dak Prescott also number 4, which should be more painful because I'm a Cardinals fan, but I don't know why it wasn't. I'm not going to wear it. I need to give that one to somebody else. But Nick B is extremely happy, listeners. He's going to completely probably ruin his audio right now because he's putting on his DeAndre Hopkins 500 level shirt that he got with one discount 1 star, the number 1 star 500level.com. They have every team and almost every player. You got to get down to 190 a little bit, bro.
Let's go ahead and throw out to the 1-star followers that you may want to go a size larger. I think. Well, what did I do? XL?
No, you're double shirted, Nick B, and you're losing.
Or lose another 5, Nick B.
But no, it looks good on you. It should fit. A T-shirt should fit kind of nice and snug on you. We're men, all right. We're fucking men.
Yeah, but I need guns, dude. Actually, I heard on the Trash Talk Boys, DK was showing his guns around. I haven't seen those guns, but
we do a late show. For me, it's already 7, and you know how it gets in Hawaii. I ain't putting on no hoodie, Nick B. That is my favorite one though. The shirt he got. I'm gonna get one for myself with I like the big cartoon head. I think that's terrific.
I do too.
Everybody go to 500level.com. Use the code 1star at checkout. That's the number 1 STAR. 20% off anything and everything. The best shirts in the game, like DK said. Thousands and thousands of players, NFL, NBA, NHL, soccer, everything. Go check it out. 500level.com. Code 1star.
Code 1star. Rip's comedy special will be on TikTok. That's all our plugs. But yeah, stepped it up, Rip. That's better material. I think just a little thing. I know we keep this a little cleaner than other podcasts that we also have been moonlighting on, which is totally cool. I feel like, are you going to do a little Jim Gaffigan? Or are you going to do some dirty jokes too? Possibly.
Oh, I'll get it. Yeah, I'll get it. I mean, if that's what the listeners want, I'll bring some heat, and some Jim Gaffigan, and also some Chris Rock. I mean, I'm trying to find my way right now is the thing. So any feedback that we get will be used in future 60-second comedy bits by me. That's for sure.
Hell yeah, so money. Well, next segment, what do we got, boys? Let's do our number 1-star moments. I know you guys been having 5-star weeks. Usually you text me a bunch of dumb shit, large poos you've taken, embarrassing moments when you get punked by other parents at the parking lots and all this stuff. I've been hearing nothing but good news. So it's what's happening. Rainbows over there in Long Beach and the mountains of Awatuki.
Go ahead, Nick B.
Well, I was just going to say that I had a 1-star moment that I divulged in my story, but in the 45 seconds since then, I've come up with another one. So, no, it's not all sunshine and rainbows over here in Awatuki.
What do you got, bro? Hit us.
So, apart from blowing it and saying, yes, we're going to California, which an easy no should have been the answer. My 1-star moment of the week is that I don't have a mail key for our own mailbox. So I got the message that my shirt had shown up, but it was actually in our mailbox. So I had to make an extra trip to the wifey's work this morning to get the mail key from her, to go back to the house to get the mail, to get my 500 level shirt to bring here to the office to do my grand unveiling. Whereas realistically, I should have my own mail key, or at least have one at the house. So
good thing you got that helicopter. They had a helicopter to whisk you around the Phoenix metro area. Take you 5-minute trip, baby.
It's a very Nick B, because I know your wife cut you off. That makes sense. She has full control of everything. That you have like just limited control around the house. $300 spending limit.
No, $1 for Nick B.
$1. That's right.
She's gonna be furious when you see that new shirt on you today. How much did that thing cost, baby?
She's not going to be. Well, I did tell her about it because, well, obviously I had to tell her because I had to get the mail key. So yeah, that wasn't good. But I need to take this moment to dig myself out of a hole here and say that, babe, I love you very, very much, and I really appreciate you holding it down for me and in my life, and always, like DK saying, you really hold it together for me. But most importantly, your planning for our Disney trip, getting the Genie Pass, having every ride lined up to where we saved at least 5 hours of standing in line time was all because of you. I love you very much, and I appreciate you.
That's absolutely true, man. That Genie Pass, it costs a little bit of extra money. What is like $30 a person? But man, you can't put a price on those 4 or 5 hours you save in those lines.
Well, not only that, it was $25 a person. You're right. So it was an extra $75. But Rip, to your point, like if I would have got the Genie Pass by myself, or if my wife wasn't there, I would have not utilized it. I just don't have the patience, attention span, brain capacity to do stuff like that. I'm way better at just scrambled eggs, you know what I'm saying? But it's so perfect for people like her. She was able to really dial that thing in and get full value out of it. So
happy early Valentine's Day to Lauren. She probably got a Larry Fitzgerald gift wrap.
Oh no,
dude, that's love and growth right there for Nick B. You know what happened right there? He stood over that putt. A gust of wind came super hard, and he said, I'm gonna step back from this putt right here and make the right read, and he did. Look at that growth from Nick B. Recognized. Listeners know, me and Rip know, Nick B he's a great executor in the moment. Put him in the field and he will play. He will not get the whole team to the field at the right time.
No, you know not great under pressure.
Oh, and no, 1 star under pressure. But just a 5-star heart is what we have here.
Sorry, I come up with a lot of ideas. That's what I'm good at. And I'm good at connecting people. Those are really kind of like the only powerful traits I've got. But why are we taking so much time on Nick B's
you're good at manifesting.
Let's go to Rick.
You manifested a DeAndre Hopkins big head shirt for your team, the Arizona Cardinals. You could have very easily gotten a give me one, Rip, a Matthew Stafford.
Hassan Reddick.
Josh Johnson.
Let go, and he was just killing it now. Yeah, Josh Johnson.
God, life is good. Life is good for you, man. Rip, 1-star moment of the week, man.
Yeah, back to the unemployment line thing. I've been on a few job interviews in the last 7 days, and one of them was for a position that, I believe I'm qualified for, but I had to create a little spin on it during the interview because a lot of it has to do with sales and booking new business, which I'm not directly involved in, in my past, but I know I can do it. So when the woman asked me, she had a little doubt about, my sales background and how I'm going to be able to book new clients. And the only thing I could think of, I mentioned I'm only good at 2 things, but the only thing I could think of was I just blurted out that I booked guests for a podcast. And I said, I kind of start from nothing and I convinced these guys to go on the show. And, she kind of looked at me a little weird because I was relating that to being able to book new business. And in my head, it makes sense, but I haven't heard back from them since. I followed up. I haven't heard back. So I think that might have been the nail in the coffin for that one. So a little bit of a 1-star moment of the week. It's those interview questions when you're under pressure a little bit, like Josh Johnson and Lincoln Financial Field, man. You just sometimes you get your head slammed to the ground and don't wake up for a while.
Good analogy.
Hey, sometimes you wake up and you got a big old contract being 3rd-string quarterback back in Tampa Bay, though, Rip. They might call. You know what I mean? They probably will call. It's very impressive. Maybe they're going through their list and somebody gets that thing and they're like, oh, shit, Evander Holyfield on this little podcast from these dudes' garage in Costa Mesa. They got a rich dude named Nick B who fills in when they can't book any guests in dry January.
Or she went directly to the 1-Star Recruits TikTok and saw my minivan comedy clip and just tore my resume up into shreds. So It could go either way, baby.
I can't wait till you're a famous stand-up comedian in 5 years. It's all started here on the podcast. You're gonna bring Nick B along. Nick B's gonna come on the road with you. Look, listeners, fucking stay tuned. It's coming. 1-star moment of the week for myself. Not as intense because it was recent. It was a 5-star hang because my homie Leon is here. He's a big Eagles fan. Big fan to the point where he called me before arrival and wants to make sure that my TV worked. And I said yes. And he said, I know you're not standing in front of your TV. I can tell. And I wasn't. So I did that for this guy. And I had to even like preface, like, I'm nervous because if the Eagles don't win and he's at my house, he may not like my house or this island or my couch, or, it could ruin his whole trip. It's raining here all week. He's in Hawaii. I was like, this could be so anyway, my buddy came over. We watched the game. It was wonderful. Eagles won. He dominated. There was tears. There's a video out there of him watching Jalen Hurts at the end with him crying and Jalen Hurts crying, both grown men, fully grown men. So that was 5 stars. The 1-star was we had snacks brought over. He brought over some snacks, 2 tubes, double tubed me, 1 cheddar cheese, 1 salt and vinegar. Full stack Pringles, double stack, big extra large double Pringles.
$5.99 at Foodland, by the way.
$16.99 probably for those 2 items currently at Foodland, Rip. And so we killed the sleeves like they were Girl Scout cookies, man. Pringles, very processed. Next day felt like the Pringles can was coming out of me, man. Never again will I eat that many Pringles in one sitting. I don't think I ever had actually before. Some reason we were feeling them. I think I was nostalgic because I was with my boy Leon. He loves chips. You know Nick B. Nick B knows Leon. Anyway, 1-star moment. Intake of Pringles, just do small, like a small duck mouth.
How many Pringles do you think are in one of those tubes?
Oh,
we talked about how many chicken nuggets can you eat in one sitting. I'm just curious. There's probably about 60, right?
I think about 72. Probably about 72. That's probably a quick Google.
Nick B said 300.
I said 300. I was way off.
Oh, 300. Hey, we also got Gimmick Bot on that same chip run that the ladies went on. Thank you, ladies. My hot wives went on a little snack run, came back with ranch Doritos. Delicious, right? But also in a Pringles can. Marketed this way. Mini chips. What are they all like super mini and they look the same? These mofos done just crunched up the bottom barrel of the fucking ranch chips at the Doritos factory and filled them in Pringles tubes.
There was a whole special on, I believe, like 48 Hours or one of those shows, or 60 Minutes, that showed how companies are kind of tricking consumers by going in the smaller packaging or making the weight smaller but the package the same, and
shrinkflation.
You're getting less for your money these days on everything.
It's really
toilet
smart.
paper. Yep.
Yeah, shrinkflation.
That's what you get. That's what Nick B gets in his hot tub. Shrinkflation.
No, I was gonna say, actually, I'm terrible at telling stories and even recapping anything, but on the theme of stand-up comedy and on the theme of Pringles, I don't know if you guys know of Mitch Hedberg. He goes way back, but one of his best bits is when he talks about, he's like, yeah, those people over there at Pringles, they're a super cool, innovative company, man. One day they were supposed to get potatoes show up, and it was just a big truck full of tennis balls. And the owner of the company is so cool, he said, fuck it, chuck them up. See, I was totally bombed the joke. Something about how Pringles, tennis ball, whatever, bro. Mitch Hedberg, check him out. He's really good at stand-up comedy. But I'm clearly
He is a go. I just heard something that made me laugh about him. There's a story of him at a hotel, or he was supposed to play a club, and he was at the hotel, and the hotel called the club, and they're like, you got to come get your comic. He's running around here with the hotel with shit, just shit himself. He's running off the poop coming down his leg. Mitch Hedberg, one of the goats.
Dude, that's crazy. It doesn't surprise me. Other last thing that he says, which I've used this joke, he's like, my favorite thing about an elevator, it can never break down. Because when it breaks down, it just becomes stairs. I'm like, that's such a good, like, so simple, but so good, right?
Nick B. So there you go, Rip. You can add in one-liners too. Nick B. Nick B. Ghostwrite a couple for you. Nick B.
There we go.
Maybe you could just send them some texts when they hit you, Nick B. Because I know you're a stinker. You're also a thinker, and you can send notes to people when it hits you. So you get a good one-liner. You send it over to Rip. Maybe Rip can help build a bit out of that one.
Let's go. Like that. You guys got any other 5-star recommendations of the week this week?
Rip said, "Move it the fuck along, boys." Recommendations of the week, Nick B. Anything that made you feel good?
Yeah, I have a book,
Bullshit.
recommendation for
Call
this week.
bullshit.
What?
A reading book or an audio book?
Well, I have the physical copy because my wife rented it from the library, which that'll be my rec of the week next time I'm on, if I'm ever on again. Somehow, if you have a library
Are you a
card,
book? Are we a book? You're a reading guy now because you were not the whole.
I'm more of an audiobook guy. Yeah, I like
Okay.
audiobooks better.
Let the man get to his rec, DK.
Well, so
Okay.
she has a library card and you can check out audiobooks for free. I don't know if anybody knew that. Like we have the Audible and you can buy the books. It's however much you get, one book a month, we do that. But so we listen to the first half of, it's called The Tools, and it's by Phil Stutz and Barry Michaels. So one of my previous reps was a documentary called Stutz. Well, this is the book that he wrote. So, but I am gonna have to read the hard copy because she's got it checked out from the library. So she's got the audio version on her phone. So she bookmarked where we were at in it and gave me the physical copy because she bought it for me for Christmas actually. So
Show notes. Nice. It's a relationship book. Yeah.
it's more of a psychology book than a relationship.
Psychology.
Yes.
Fucking hey, Nick B. Impressive, Mo. Every week you come with new stuff. What do you got, Rip?
Mine is kind of simple this week. There's a lot of shitty things going on in the world, obviously, but try not to dwell on those. And something I came up with the other day that has probably been said in the past on the show too, but just a reminder to try to give out a compliment every day. One compliment a day. Doesn't have to be the same person, stranger. Wife, kids, anything. Nick B, compliment him on his new DeAndre Hopkins shirt, but. Yeah, just that's simple, man. Try to give out a compliment every day. I've been trying it for the past few days, and not only does it make you feel good, but obviously the goal is to make someone else feel good as well. So just one of those reminders in life that we need every once in a while. Mostly because I didn't have a TV show or a product this week, but something I've been trying to focus on a little more. Give one compliment a day.
Better rec than a show or book any day, dude. Great rec.
Yeah, I like it.
There's a compliment right there. See.
And I got to challenge myself not to do a forced ones, like say, nice shoes is like one for me. But I like doing the sports teams. If I would have saw Rashford jersey at Disneyland, Nick B, I would have given you a pounder. Rashford.
Okay, I like that. Appreciate
one
that.
Of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. Even if they're not my teams, letting people know that I see you got a
legit
on. Lugo, yeah. Toronto, let them know.
You've always had mad respect for that because you've always kind of had that eclectic gear. You've always got the different hat or shirt or the obscure jersey club, as we all know.
I appreciate it. I also appreciate the Philadelphia Eagles. Rec of the week, watch the Super Bowl. It's going to be in Glendale. It's coming up. And Joey Days, I know I slept on the Eagles. The whole world slept on the Eagles, Joey Days, okay? So, complete team. I want some of your defensive linemen to come to Phoenix, so hopefully they have a good time. I'm hoping, Rip, they have a great time out there, and they maybe even win, and then they want to come do their career with the Arizona Cardinals after this Eagles run. We'll see. My rec of the week is just a small game. My love language is with a lot of things is food. I love with food a lot of times. I like to make food. I like to bring people food. I like to make food recommendations. Big part of my love language. My sister got COVID. Rip inspired me from some of his DoorDash stories he's been doing. 50-piece McNuggets, some wild things, some good things. I said, you know what? My love language is food, and I live in this day and age when I can send anybody food at any given time. My sister's home. I said, look, if you're home and you're down with it, I'm going to do all your meals today. So she said, I'm down. She trusts me. That's a little bit of trust. Okay, Nick B, you don't trust anybody. I'm curious if you two would trust me with this, and I'll ask you at the end of it. But I did it. She lives in Brooklyn. I live in fucking the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It's crazy that we can even do this, first of all. But I researched and I found a couple of things. She was sick, so I did some ramen, and she likes Japanese food, and some pot stickers and some other things. Then I did a dessert from a Japanese place and followed it up with like another cheesecake. She doesn't eat sweets, but she eats only cheesecake. So I found cheesecake, and she loved every second of it. Made her day better, got her fed, gave her some content to share on social media that wasn't bullshit, so that's entertaining when you're getting those dopamine hits and you're not feeling well. So it was like a win-win for everybody. I was in for $45 for 3 meals, going that way. One small dessert, two kind of meals. So $45 to make my sister's day made me feel good because it's my love language and I like doing it. So it's a win-win. So my question to you fellas is, Rip, would you trust me with a full day of door dashing food to your house?
Yeah, I kind of want to get COVID now just to experience that, man. It sounds amazing. Shout out to all the door dashers out there on the front lines delivering food to people with COVID. But yeah, I mean, that sounds amazing, DK. But sign me up.
It was a drop off at the door, bro. It's in the picture situation for sure. You're right. I don't want to send anybody into harm's way. Nick B, you trust me? I think I know your spots. I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely not. There's not a chance in hell I would trust you, not even with one meal, let alone three.
Bro, are you just thinking you salad a go and a kolache from the kolache place, from the kolache place, and it's over? Nick B, no forget. No
mango green iced tea from Salad Goes right here. What up, Chili?
And Venezia's Pizza. Don't forget Venezia's Pizza out there.
Oh yeah, Venezia's Pizza, dude. It's a good call. Well, actually, let me. I wanted to ask you something on here, Rip, if it's cool to take a quick second, because, and obviously you can edit this part out. Nick B gets too long-winded or has bogus ideas, but.
Hit the music.
No, don't hit the music yet. But no, seriously, Rip, I want to know, and just take a second, think. You don't got to answer right away because I know this is a pod. We're going to have some dead air or whatever. But I want to hear what the ideal position that Rip could land. If next week, Monday, you got a call and this recruiter said, Rip, I got you lined up to start this job on October 1st. They're going to pay you from now until then so you can take a little sabbatical, enjoy the time with your family. But on October 1st, you're going to start for our company in this role. What is that role?
I mean, like just the dream job, and just got actually filled. The recruiter would be Michael Bidwell and the job would be GM of the Arizona Cardinals. But the more realistic one, I think, is honestly like booking guests for the JJ Redick pod or a show like that. Big fan of that pod. Old Man and the Three. They do a hell of a job getting guests themselves, but I think I could add some value to a spot like that. So yeah, I think that's it, man. Pretty easy because I've thought about it a lot,
Bro, that's a solid answer, and I really appreciate how you threw the GM of the Cardinals out there because I'm all about dreaming big. I think you could do it, bro. I mean, we're young. You got a lot of time to go. Man, this is exciting. All right, well, this actually, that was a better answer than I was expecting, dude. I was expecting an answer where I get ripped a little bit. That's a perfect answer. We're gonna JJ Redick. We're gonna hit you up.
Yeah, he's got all over this. Rip, great job putting it into the universe. It's always a great practice, whether you write it down or say it. I love you saying it. And Nick B, you already have it all. He might go to Q school now. We might have just changed his life. He's inspired to go. He might open a restaurant. Nick B's Pizza House coming to you. I have one more. You can hit the music if you want. You People, Netflix TV show with Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy, great cast. The woman from Seinfeld, I forget her name, Nia Long. It's a comedy. It's also about kind of what's going on in the world. Combo. If you want a funny movie, Nick B, to watch with the family, go ahead and watch You People. It's a good one. I think your teenager will like it too. Watch it with you.
Wet February coming up. See you next week.